Welcome back to the Business Ignite podcast, where we light the fire for business growth and marketing success. Your hosts, Ethan Walker and Samantha Reed, bring you the latest trends, expert insights, and actionable strategies to fuel your business journey. Let's ignite your potential.
All right, let's talk images.
Images.
Image formats.
Getting specific. I like it.
You know those three little letters that come after the dot in a file name? Like, is it a .jpg or a .png?
Or what even is a WebP?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So today we're diving deep. We're talking SVGs, PDFs, JPGs. We're going to hit those PNGs too.
A veritable who's who of image formats.
And to help us out, we're using this super helpful article. It's from 95 Visual.
They're a web design company, right?
Yeah, they really know their stuff. And they make this point right up front that picking the right image format, well, it's not just some technical detail. It can actually make or break your website.
Oh, absolutely. Impacts everything. User experience, SEO, even just how professional your brand looks. It all ties in.
It's true. You could have the best content in the world on your site, but if those images are blurry...
Or they take forever to load.
Exactly. People are going to hit that back button faster than you can say pixel.
First impressions matter. Online, especially.
Okay, so let's jump right into it. And I think the best place to start is with SVGs.
Scalable vector graphics.
Now, this article from 95 Visual, they really highlight how SVGs are all about scalability. You can blow them up, shrink them down, and the quality never dips.
It's kind of magic when you think about it. No pixelation whatsoever.
So imagine this. You're designing a website banner, okay? And right in the middle is your company logo.
Important. Got to have that logo.
Of course. Now, if that logo is an SVG, it's going to look razor sharp on any device.
Doesn't matter if it's a massive monitor or a tiny phone screen.
Yeah. And that's because, and this is cool, SVGs are vector-based.
Instead of pixels, they're built on mathematical equations. It's like, imagine having a blueprint that you can just scale up or down infinitely.
Versus like a mosaic, right? With those tiny little tiles, and if you try to make it bigger...
It gets all blurry and pixelated.
Exactly. And because SVGs are essentially code...
They tend to have smaller file sizes, too.
Which is huge for websites.
Oh, gigantic. Faster loading times. And search engines, they can actually read that code, so it can even help with your SEO.
Wait, really?
Yeah. It's pretty neat. Plus, you can style them with CSS. So for us web developers, that's amazing flexibility.
Okay, so not only do SVGs look fantastic on any device, but they can also make your website load faster, A&D potentially rank higher in search results.
They're like the overachievers of the image format world.
I love it. Okay, let's switch gears for a sec. Let's talk about a format I'm sure we're all familiar with, PDFs.
The Trusty PDF.
Right. They're like that reliable old friend, always there for you when you need to preserve the formatting of a document.
If you need to be sure that what you're sending is exactly what the other person sees, PDF is the way to go.
Contracts, research papers.
Even like a really nicely designed brochure where every margin, every font size, it all matters.
The 95 Visual article really emphasizes this. PDFs, they ensure everyone's literally on the same page, no matter what kind of computer, phone, whatever they're using to view it.
It's all about that consistency.
And it's not just about visual consistency either, right? PDFs have that security aspect as well.
Oh, for sure. And that can be crucial these days.
The article touched on that. You can password protect PDFs. Yeah. You can even prevent people from copying or changing the content.
It's like that extra layer of protection.
Yeah.
Keeps your documents safe.
Which is so important.
Right.
In a world where data privacy, it feels like it's getting more and more important every day.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, ready to switch gears again?
Hit me.
Let's talk about a format I am certain you use every single day, multiple times a day, even if you don't realize it.
Okay, now you've got me curious.
JPEGs.
Oh, the mighty JPG.
Exactly. They are everywhere. Why? Well, the 95 Visual article, they make a good point about this. It's the compression.
Right. JPGs use that, what is it, lossy compression?
Lossy is right. Basically, it streamlines the image data. Imagine packing a suitcase, right?
Yeah.
You don't bring your whole closet, just the essentials.
So it's like packing light for the web.
Exactly. And smaller file sizes mean faster loading times, which, for websites, especially ones with lots of images, that speed is critical.
Makes sense. Nobody wants to wait around for a slow website. But okay, this compression thing, I feel like there's got to be a trade-off somewhere. You don't get something for nothing, right?
You're absolutely right to be thinking that way. Because yes, lossy compression, it's great for keeping things compact, but it can impact image quality.
Ah.
And the article makes this very clear. JPGs, not ideal for everything. If it's got a lot of sharp lines, text, high contrast areas,
you're going to have some issue.
You might see some fuzziness, some pixelation, especially if it's been downloaded and re-downloaded a bunch of times.
Which, let's be real, happens all the time online.
All the time. So yeah, it's something to keep in mind.
Okay, so maybe JPGs aren't always the perfect choice. What about PNGs then? They always seem to fly a little under the radar, but they can be pretty great.
PNGs are interesting, definitely underrated, because unlike JPGs, they use what's called lossless compression.
Lossless. So no data is lost.
You got it. It's like finding a way to pack your whole suitcase without having to sit on it to close it.
Love that analogy.
So yeah, with a PNG, you get those smaller file sizes without sacrificing any of the image quality.
Okay, so it's like the best of both worlds.
In a lot of ways, yes. And one other thing the 95 Visual article points out is how good PNGs are at handling transparency.
Which, for things like logos and icons, that's huge.
Oh, it's essential, because you want that logo to look good on any background, right? Website, social media, whatever. PNGs make that possible.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. SVGs, PDFs, JPGs, PNGs. This article from 95 Visual, they focused on these four. Is there, like, a reason they left out some of the other formats out there?
Well, they're focusing on the core formats that web designers use pretty much every day. But yeah, the tech world, it never sits still, right? There's always something new popping up, like WebP, for example.
WebP. Okay, yeah. I've heard that name floating around. It's supposed to be, what, like the next big thing?
It might be. Google developed it, and it's designed specifically with the modern web in mind.
Interesting. So what's so special about it?
Well, it can often create even smaller file sizes than JPGs or PNGs.
No way.
Yeah, while still keeping the quality really high. It's pretty impressive.
So are we saying WebP is going to, like, take over, replace all the other formats?
It's hard to say for sure, but it does show how this whole image format landscape is constantly shifting, and it really underscores this point that there's no single best image format.
It all depends on what you're trying to do.
Exactly. What's the image for? Does it need to be super high quality, or is file size more important? Transparency, security? Ask yourself those questions first, and it'll make picking the right format way easier.
It's like having the right tool for the job.
Exactly. Couldn't have said it better myself.
This has been awesome. I feel like I've leveled up my image knowledge today for sure.
Glad to hear it. It's one of those things that might seem small, but it can make a big difference.
Huge. Well, a huge thank you to 95 Visual for the great information. We'll be sure to link to their article in the show notes. And to everyone listening, thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the world of image formats. Catch you next time.
Thanks for tuning in to the Business Ignite podcast, where we fuel your business growth and marketing success. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to rate and review us. It does help others find the show. Don't forget to follow us on social media at Business Ignite Podcast and share this episode with a friend. Keep the fire burning, and remember, your success is just one strategy away. Until next time, stay ignited.